A very good evening to you all and welcome from me, Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma, to our second and final edition of News Tonight here on UBC TV. We are coming to you live online and on air from Broadcast House here on Nile Avenue. Now, President Yoweri Museveni has said the insecurity in the Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo has been perpetuated by the presence of illegal guns circulating within the country since independence. Now, while addressing leaders of the East African community virtually during the EAC-led Nairobi process on restoration of peace and security in Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo, and that was the third inter-Congolese dialogue that took place in Nairobi, Kenya, General Museveni informed fellow leaders that many illegal gangs are still in the hands of foreign and local armed groups and are an impediment to lasting peace in the eastern part of the DRC and the entire region. Take a watch.
The main problem are the illegal guns in Congo. These illegal guns have been there almost continuously since Congo's independence. And the illegal guns are in two categories. Category one are the illegal guns held by foreign armed groups from other countries. The main problem are the illegal guns in Congo. These illegal guns have been there almost continuously since Congo's independence. And the illegal guns are in two categories. Category one are the illegal guns held by foreign armed groups from other countries. These are the ADF of Uganda, Interahamwe of Rwanda, Red Tabara of Burundi. In the past, there used to be UNITA of Angola and FNL of Holden Roberto of Angola. That's one category of the armed groups in Congo. All these years, killing Congolese and also disturbing neighbors. The second category are the internal Congolese groups, such as Codeco, the one of the Lendu, M23, Mai Mai. These groups can easily be defeated if we harmonize. The operation which is going on, which has been going on for almost a year now, conducted by the Congolese army and the Uganda army in the three sectors of North Kivu and Ituri, show what can be, this operation has shown that we have the capacity to deal with these groups in spite of the difficult terrain, the forest and so on. We can deal with these groups. But these ones also, in my opinion and our experience, can be handled by combining the political methods, i.e. dialogue, with the military method, if there is any group that is adamant and doesn't want peace.
President Yoweri Museveni ending that report there. Now, the Prime Minister, Reuben Nabanja, has rallied women leaders across the world to appreciate mindset change for development. Addressing the first Asia, Pacific and Africa Women's Economic Summit in Tokyo, Japan, Nabanja asked governments to prioritize food security for the good of children and mothers. There's more in this report.
Nabanja is representing the country at the summit. She says food insecurity adversely affects the growth and education of children, leading to dropping out of school.
Where there is food insufficiency characterized by hunger, malnutrition, stunting of children, and anemia, learning and performance is negatively impacted, causing high dropout rates, child labor, teenage pregnancy, loss of learning periods, repetition in classes, and violence against children in school.
The Prime Minister was concerned over the gains Uganda had achieved in ensuring the people of Karamoja are food secure, although they were affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. This she attributed to the prolonged dry spell experienced in the area.
Karamoja is now once again facing famine. Government and some development partners are devising means to address these challenges. More support is needed in this area.
She asked the international community to support Uganda's generosity and efforts in hosting refugees from neighboring countries.
Because since the Ukraine and Russian war, the support to Uganda is quite dwindling, and therefore we request for support.
Nabanja lauded the First Lady for initiating programs such as Uganda Women's effort to save orphans, UWESO. She delivered the message of the First Lady, Janet Museveni, at the summit. Zimbabwe's First Lady, Mrs. Auxilia Mnangagwa, and the other First Ladies shared views on food security.
Zimbabwe continues to prioritize food and nutrition security. In this regard, a raft of policies supported through the national fiscus have been put in place towards reforming, mechanizing, and modernizing agriculture.
We can address the impact of the food crisis while protecting lives and building resilience against protracted crisis and future shocks.
The Japan International Cooperation Agency pledged more support to countries in addressing food insecurity concerns.
As we are all aware, the climate change and Ukraine crisis pose severe food crisis in Africa. Again, I would like to emphasize that it is at high time to strengthen solidarity in the international community to tackle on those challenges.
The summit has attracted First Ladies and women leaders from Africa, Asia and the Pacific. It is on the theme to cope with food crises for the future of children by mothers.
That was our reporter Henry Okrot with that detailed report there. Now, the Inspector General of Police, John Martins Okoth Ochola, has directed all territorial commanders to upskill their patrol units amidst the ongoing attacks on police posts and other security installations. Now, this directive comes at a time when at least 6 police officers and some 2 UPDF officers have been killed by unknown assailants. Now, these commanders are challenged to revise their training tactics to encounter attackers with proportional force.
It is now a common trend of unknown attackers to raid security installations, killing officers and take guns. Despite announced countermeasures, raids on these installations are persistent. Joint security agencies have resolved proportional response to these assailants.
We want to inform all security personnel that the leadership of the joint security agencies stands with them and are doing everything possible to prevent such unprovoked attacks and ambushes on them. However, there should be no tolerance for shootings, robbery of guns, and attacks on security personnel who are very fundamental to public safety and security.
The Inspector General of Police, John Martins Okoth Ochola, has directed police territorial commanders to upscale operations in considering attackers' tactics.
Leadership of the joint security agencies has tasked all territorial commanders to be prepared to respond to any form of violence that targets their personnel or their facilities. While it is true that security and law enforcement officers are trained on how to protect the public, they are also trained on how to use tactics and proportionate use of force under violent and unpredictable attacks like ambushes.
So far, police reports are showing at least 6 police officers killed in these attacks and several guns stolen. In the hunt for these assailants, 3 have been killed and 3 guns recovered.
And we are also building intelligence on the foiled attacks at Kensington and Nankulabye police posts because the perpetrators who committed these violent attacks and attempted attacks seem to be doing so in furtherance of either a social or political goal that we are yet to determine. But we believe that the expertise of the joint intelligence components will be able to bring that out.
Police have cautioned the public on the increasing fraudsters in this festive season. Police have established as online shopping has become a fraud breeding window with substandard goods.
It's a very prominent area. The number of auctions that are taking place for cars, houses and other properties during this period. So auction fraud is also another area. Then holiday fraud for people who would want to go holidaying within the country or for other holiday spots. They should also be very, very careful.
The public has been urged to be vigilant in the ongoing FIFA World Cup tournament. Managers of recreation centers to beef up their security while remembering the 2010 tragedy at Lugogo, which claimed over 70 people. Abdunasir Lubwama and Lydia Chomkama, UBC News.
Now to matters pertaining to the health sector, where the Ministry of Health has said they will begin the trials for the Sudan Ebola virus vaccination this week. Dr. Daniel Chabayinze, the Director of Public Health Services in the Ministry of Health, confirmed the arrival of the candidate vaccines, saying that the vaccination exercise will kick off with the target groups, especially the Ebola contacts soon. We have more in this story.
From September 20th, when the Ministry of Health announced an Ebola outbreak in the country, a total of 141 infections have been recorded with 55 fatalities. Although the outbreak is gradually being contained with fewer infections, the Ministry of Health says they will go on the commencement of vaccination trials of the Sudan Ebola strain.
Currently, in our fight against Ebola in the nation, we have 55 people who have passed away. We have still 141 cases and about 70 recoveries. In the last 15 days, we have no new case, and in the last 15 days, we have had no loss of life.
Ministry of Health has confirmed the arrival of 2 trial vaccines in the country, and hopefully the vaccination exercise will begin in a space of 2 days.
A trial for the Ebola vaccines process is starting this week or has already started. A study does not start by the day they vaccinate the first person, but all the preparatory phases are all complete.
Dr. Chabayinze says the vaccination targets about 300 people who are mostly contacts of Ebola patients.
So the people have already been trained to give Ebola vaccine. The team is assembled, the protocols are approved, and so they will start they are going to do what they call ring vaccination. They start by an infected person and they vaccinate all the people around, level 1 contacts and level 2, but to give them vaccination and the health workers as potential people to see how we protect. These studies need to be expedited, but we thank God even the numbers are coming down.
These will be inoculated with either of the 2 candidate vaccines that have been imported.
We have 2 vaccines, one from Oxford and the UK, and then we have another vaccine from the US Sabin Institute. So those are the 2 candidate vaccines we are likely to be working on. There was also a 3rd one, but I think the priority will be for the first 2.
The Ebola virus circulating in the country is the Sudan strain, which has no proven vaccine or cure. Unlike the more common Zaire strain plaguing neighboring DRC, Dr. Chabainze, however, reveals that the continuous lockdown in Mubende and Kasanda has greatly helped to curb the spread of the Ebola virus.
So the impact of having localized lockdown has given us yield, and we think this is the best approach to manage outbreaks when people do not follow all the regulations.
Over the weekend, President Museveni, through his vice president, extended the lockdown in the two districts of Mubende and Kasanda on account that the situation was still fragile.
Chief Justice Alphonse Owinyadola has vowed to defend the judiciary from any intimidation that comes from other arms of government which limit the judiciary's performance from executing its work duly. Now, Dolo communicated this during the opening ceremony of a two-day annual Registrars and Magistrates Conference held at Mestil Hotel here in Kampala.
Over 300 registrars and magistrates are undergoing a two-day annual conference to devise means on how best they can improve their service delivery in ensuring equitable and timely justice to Ugandans. Among these are chief magistrates, grade 1 and grade 2 magistrates, registrars, deputy registrars, and assistant registrars.
The objective of this conference, my lord, CJ, is to retool and refresh the professional skills of registrars and magistrates and to build their capacity and knowledge for effective service delivery.
The annual Registrars and Magistrates Conference was officiated by Chief Justice Alphonse Owinyadola at Mestil Hotel in Kampala, who appealed to the judicial officers not to bow to any intimidations by anyone, which is contrary to the judicial oath.
Because we take the oath not to favor. Do not favor any person because that person is good to you, if they are not right. Put your pen to paper and say, well, you're such a nice person, but you are against the law. Because you took oath never to malice anyone. Do not malice anyone who offends you when it comes to your judicial work.
Dolo vowed to defend the judiciary.
I would be failing in my duty as head of the judiciary to defend judicial officers if I kept quiet. I would be failing in my duty as a Ugandan to see this type of abuse of the Constitution and I keep quiet. I would not be forgiven for keeping quiet.
Judge Musa Sekana, the head High Court Civil Division, on behalf of the Principal Judge Dr. Flavian Nzeija, commended the works by the magistrates that has seen a rise in case disposal.
For the magistrates' grade 1 courts, the disposal rate stood at 71%, which was a 15% rise from the earlier 56 registered in financial year 2020-2021. Whereas the disposal rate at the High Court is still low, it is still a good foundation to build on moving forward, considering that the judiciary was still grappling with manpower gaps.
However, the emerging rate of case backlog, most especially those pending judgments in magistrate courts, is one of the key issues that magistrates have been urged to work upon.
What are we performing when we have people with such cases? Somebody has 22, 2018, they are still pending before magistrate grade 1 somewhere, you know?
Registrars and magistrates have also been cautioned about enhancing their work ethics and integrity during execution of their work.
I call upon your worships to continue embracing hard work and integrity.
The annual Registrars and Magistrates Conference is a day-to event from 28th to 29th of November 2022, hailing at Mestil Hotel in Kampala. Rebecca Nantongo, Susan Nabugude, UBC News.
Now, the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Works and Transport, who doubles as chairman of the Central Corridor Transit Transport Agency, Waiso Abagea, wants more resources directed towards boosting human resource capacity in maritime transport to accelerate the sector growth in the region. The PS made the appeal at the inaugural Central Corridor Member States Marine Officers Graduation Ceremony in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Dennis Goa reports.
Water transport is the most affordable over other modes of transport. However, there are several major challenges in the region affecting sector growth and development.
We need to think how we can develop our transport sector, especially building a new ships. Not a new ships, but we need to build a latest ship technology. Because if we're going to Goma, we've got a number of ships, but they are not in a good condition. Why the government of United Republic of Tanzania have set a fund now to make sure that we're going to build a new ship with a new technology.
All seafarers, we are short of these people who drive the ships and who maintain them. It's a pleasure for us that today we have passed out 2 officers from Uganda who are coming to close that gap and solve to some extent the shortage of manpower in the seafaring.
Training seafarers is a costly venture. The Central Corridor Transit Transport Facilitation Agency says it has so far spent $550,000 to train 10 Marine cadets from 5 member countries of Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, and the Democratic Republic of Congo.
The directive and the decision to establish a capacity building program in the maritime sectors come into enhance competitiveness and the resilience of the Central Corridor through logistic and market-based solutions. Accordingly, Central Corridor entered into a partnership with the Dar es Salaam Maritime Institute to provide the training and the capacity building, and a training program was developed.
These officers successfully completed a 5-year course within Tanzania and abroad. While on attachment, Hakiza Kenneth, a Ugandan, narrowly escaped death when their ship, flying a UAE flag, sank near the shores of Iran.
We had a terrible wind on the sea and our vessel couldn't overcome it. Accidentally, some did not make it, but I managed to go through. God saved me. So I've had good experience. I've sailed all the 7 seas. I've been in the Persian Gulf. I've been in the Indian Ocean, the Pacific.
Male dominance was also visible at the ceremony.
Why? The maritime transport is a male-dominated industry. We appreciate that out of 10, at least 1 was a female. But the message is clear that all member states needed to take into account. As they go ahead in nominating new cadets, we should all ensure that at least out of the 3, we have 1 female.
Dennis Igoha for UBC News in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania.
Thanks, Dennis Igoha, for that report there. Now, the management of Uganda Broadcasting Corporation, UBC, has started an orientation training on revenue management and target setting. The training is envisaged to provide the corporation a stable and sustainable financing system. Managing Director Winston Agaba Edud encouraged managers to look at growth opportunities in achieving targets. Take a watch.
2023, we want to start from a new slate of knowing that we have a target. As a team, we work all towards achieving that target. Yes, there will always be challenges.
Identifying and suggesting possible different revenue sources that provide UBC with a sound, stable and sustainable financing system that will support the corporation is one of the objectives of the management orientation training. The Managing Director, Winston Agaba, encouraged managers to look at growth opportunities as well as work together towards achieving targets.
All appreciate the targets we are looking at. And when we set targets, they are not engraved in stone. A target is set such that we can have an audacious goal that we all look forward to achieving.
The Deputy Managing Director, Maurice Mojisha, advised them to embrace the digital platforms and know their target market.
What is your relevance in this organization? What have you done for UBC in the last 30 days? We can only unmask ourselves if we actually decide internally by ourselves, and I'm happy we're having these review meetings, to do what we are supposed to do.
The facilitator of the training, Dr. Konstantin Bituaiki, says the purpose of the training is to see how the corporation can get revenue to support its functions and mandate.
Government funding is dwindling every day, yet the corporation's roles are increasing every day. So we have to think outside the box. And as the government is encouraging institutions like the corporations to think and do work out on development projects, get funding from anywhere so that they're able to fund their functions and mandates.
Department managers raised challenges hindering service delivery.
I would like to request marketing to give us attention. I think, I have a feeling, but which is actually true, that marketing doesn't prioritize radio.
I want us to look at the business concept as far as the budget setting. Can we run these stations as a business?
Is largely technology driven, and if you sort out technology, then you can handle what we call formatics of broadcasting. The other
to sit down and look around the Boda people who are riding their Bodas. They have a small car radio and they may be listening to lunchtime sport. They are here. On that small car radio, our sound is not good.
Jane Yuramchia reporting for UBC.
MTN presents Tugende Muchika Day at Kampala Serena Hotel on Saturday, 3rd December 2022. Standard tickets go for 100k, gold 300k, and 3 million for platinum. Or pay 90,000 shillings if you pay using MTN mobile money. Remember, this is only applicable to ordinary tickets. Featuring Eddie Away, Chasna Lubega, Sweet Kid, Kabiye Semboga, Akiki Romeo, Betty Pologoma, Ziggy D, Lady Mariam, Tina Tine, Abdumulasi, and featuring Wake-up band. All this at Kampala Serena Hotel. For reservations call 0785-961-910. Dress code retro style. Sponsored by Elderly Network Foundation, Coca-Cola, Al Breweries Limited, Kadanke, and MTN.
It's our mission to secure your money.
Protecting your money is as important as earning it. It is for this reason that the Deposit Protection Fund of Uganda, DPF, was established by the government of Uganda to provide deposit protection to customers of regulated financial institutions. In the unlikely event that your commercial bank, credit institution, or microfinance deposit-taking institution fails, the DPF will pay you up to 10 million Uganda shillings. Keep your personal information such as national identification number, mobile phone, or an alternative bank account updated with your banker. Terms and conditions apply. For more information, contact DPF at Aha Towers, Plot 7 Lodell Road, Kampala. Call 0312-206-400 or visit our website at www.dpf.or.ug.
We are the DPF. We protect your money. Protection Fund of Uganda.
Yeah. Sending money the old way. Wrong number. Sending money with the My Airtel app. You have the power in your pocket. The power to access and confirm contact details in real time before you send money. Unlock that power with the My Airtel app. Visit the App Store or Google Play now.
Welcome to the Living Room Stadium. It's the FIFA World Cup. The match is about to start. Food and drink ready. There's no space left for anyone. Come on, get your lucky chair. Take your usual spot. Even the puppy has one. It's preparation time. You can feel the tension in the air. And do you have everything you need to believe?
Meet Professor Petero. He knows something every hustler in UG is gonna love.
Just get Airtel Money Pay so that all money comes direct to your business wallet and only you, the owner, have access to it.
Just dial *185 *10 *10 hash and now you are on. No waiting. Yes, become a safer and more efficient cash-free business today.
No mixing your business money with your Kameza money.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
The Ministry of Health informs the public that there are confirmed cases of Ebola in Uganda. We, however, urge the public not to panic as the situation is being managed. The Ministry of Health further reminds the public to be on the lookout for any persons who may show signs and symptoms of Ebola. These include high body temperature, abdominal pains, diarrhea, vomiting, bleeding from the body openings such as the nose, eyes, and mouth. Please inform the nearest health worker immediately if you see anyone with these signs and symptoms. To prevent Ebola from spreading further, please take the following preventive measures: regular washing of hands with water and soap, avoid handshaking and hugging, avoiding any contact with any suspected Ebola patients. Any person who dies suddenly should not be buried but reported to the nearest health worker or LC1 immediately. For further information, please call the Ministry of Health toll-free number on 0800-100-066 or send a free SMS to your report on 8500. This message is from the Ministry of Health with support from UNICEF and World Health Organization.
MTN presents Tugende Muchika Day at Kampala Serena Hotel on Saturday, 3rd December 2022. Standard tickets go for 100k, gold 300k, and 3 million for platinum. Or pay 90,000 shillings if you pay using MTN mobile money. Remember, this is only applicable to ordinary tickets. Featuring Eddie Away, Chasna Lubega, Sweet Kid, Kabiye Semboga, Akiki Romeo, Betty Pologuma, Ziggy D, Lady Mariam, Tina Tine, Abdumulasi, and featuring Wake-up band. All this at Kampala Serena Hotel. For reservations call 0785-961-910. Dress code retro style. Sponsored by Elderly Network Foundation, Coca-Cola, Al Breweries Limited, Kadanke, and MTN.
Welcome back from that break, and this is News Tonight here on UBC TV. My name is Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma. Kampala Capital City Authority political leadership has proposed to put in place interim committees to manage markets as they await the passing into law of the Markets Bill 2021 to fill the gap created by the Presidential Directive on Markets. During a meeting of the top leadership of Kampala, organized by the Office of the Lord Mayor, Mr. Arias Lukwago said they have resolved to have KCCA Authority Council and Urban Division Councils sit and come up with a resolution in relation to the KCCA Act.
The Office of the Lord Mayor of Kampala, Arias Lukwago, has organized the meeting with top leadership of Kampala, including mayors, speakers and councillors of urban divisions at City Hall, to interpret and see how to implement the Presidential Directive on Governance of Markets as per the legal framework. The Lord Mayor Arias Lukwago says the Presidential Directive contradicts provisions in the Markets Bill 2021 that gives responsibility for general day-to-day management of the market to the Management Committee. The Presidential Directive, however, gives the responsibility of managing markets to KCCA staff on grounds that the leadership was exploiting the vendors.
We need, as the authority, to urgently put in place interim committees to manage this market and bring a halt to all the processes being pursued by government officers elsewhere.
The Speaker, KCCA, Zahara Ririka, said her council passed resolutions in line with the presidential directives on markets, but the technical team failed to implement them.
We need to go into the constitution of committees. What was decided upon by the president is null and void, because even if he wants to give a presidential directive, he has to be following the law. So we are trying to make the processes right here and see how we can go about this whole situation.
Urban council leaders and authority councillors proposed to put temporary committees to fill the current vacuum created by the presidential directive.
That the people in markets cannot govern themselves, and then the technocrats who sit in office
are the ones who are better positioned to govern those people. Not at all. It is unconstitutional, it is illegal.
Division urban councils shall assist the Directorate of Revenue in the administration of markets. The President guided that KCCA should deal with the vendors directly without going through a third party.
The Mayor Kampala Central, Salim Uhuru, revealed plans to use Inachivo Settlement Primary School to give vendors operating space during the festive season, which was interpreted by KCCA leaders as a move to take school land.
Mubalete kulerwe ekyo kibangirizi kyonna bakikolelemu kubanga ogambye nti bakiseera mwezi gumu.
Era ensonga eyo tugenda kuyimirira ku gate abatembeyi bwe bajja wano baatusaba nguudo.
Nze nga Meya atwala Kampala Central Division ombalayira mwagala oluguudo si bwe kiri teribaawo.
Factions of vendors who attended the meeting had mixed reactions on giving them roads to operate as resolved by KCCA authority or be given Nachivubo settlement.
Tubeerewo omwezi we mumalanga mutugoba omukubewo ekibaati abatembe balembedde wano muteekewo amagye n'ekibaati muguze abagagga tudde mutandika okubonaabona ekyo tetujja kikiriza era ni roodi bamutumye sebaana roodi bamutumye abaana bonna bagweredde mu makomera.
I'm Navka Farida and Andrew Sebira in Kampala.
Now, Uganda National Examinations Board, UNEB, is finalizing preparations for marking Uganda Advanced Certificate of Education, USCE, and Primary Living Examination, PLE examination script. Now, about 6,000 examiners have been set for marking PLE, and about 8,500 are to mark USCE, with 1,116 exams to be marked.
The Uganda National Examination Board has organized 41 centers for marking PLE, Senior 4 and Senior 6 examinations for 2022.
Relatedly, the board is preparing for the marking of PLE and USC examinations, rather PLE and UCE, sorry, supposed to be UCE examinations. USCE is underway the second week, and now we are going to begin marking PLE and UCE examinations. We are finalizing, and in all we have 41 examination centers which are spread.
The board has clarified on accusations against selection of examiners.
We did not receive any major hitches. We were able to deliver the examinations for the second week to all our stations, although we had some challenges regarding with the heavy rains in some places. Nonetheless, we were able to deliver the examinations, and candidates are now writing their paper this morning.
UNEB has recorded a number of malpractices from around the country, with cases of impersonation from Westville High School in Fort Portal and St. Francis SS Kawempe.
It is at USCE level, and these are pertaining to impersonation. In some cases, we had 2 candidates of Westville High School in Fort Portal, and then 5 candidates of St. Francis Senior Secondary School in Kawempe. Both cases are being investigated by police, and these were to do with impersonation, some candidates writing for others. The police is following up, and the board will also follow up with all these cases. In another case, we had 2 candidates of Katoke Senior Secondary School in Chenjojo who were found with mobile phone handsets in an examination room. The case was reported to police, and investigations are also underway for this as well.
It is week 2 of the USCE examinations that will end by 9th December 2022. Marion Awori, UBC News.
Now, the training exercise for Boda raiders in Kampala has failed to take off as scheduled. At a consultative meeting in Kampala, the operators argued that the directive issued by the Minister for Kampala lacked the input of stakeholders.
Incidents related to bodas are at alarming levels, which is largely attributed to poor road usage by the boda riders who operate with little or no training. The Minister for Kampala, Kabuye Chofatogabye, last week announced that all boda riders in Kampala will be subjected to fresh training that was scheduled to start today. Consequently, the government contracted several driving schools to carry out the exercise. Wefnile Driving School is all set for the exercise.
We've been undergoing training with the Ministry of Works, with KCCA, Uganda Police, to help prepare us in training the Bodas.
However, we were met with empty seats at the allocated training centers. Clearly, the training was not to be, at least not today. The Boda operators are defiant. They have set forth their grievances, which they want addressed before they respond to the training. The Line Ministry, the Ministry of Works and Transport should lead the program. The permit tariff of 135,000 is too high. The government should subsidize the training cost that was set at 60,000 shillings, which they think is unaffordable for most of the riders.
Just at the announcement on radio that Boda are supposed to go back for the training today. We don't agree with it, however good it is, because as readers we are tired of being ordered as security personnel.
The reason why we have not yet started today is one. First of all, the government, when they went to start this program, they called the driving schools and gave them this program without calling us. Before calling us, the leaders of Boda. Therefore, for us, we wanted first to know how these driving schools are going to train our members, because we are the one in this job here, in this fraternity of Boda.
Ali Kamlegea, Asaba, UBC News.
Antonio Querido, the Food and Agriculture Organization country representative, has called for more participation of children in the agricultural sector. Querido believes that increased involvement of the young generation is vital in transforming how food is produced and consumed, and also get them a better future.
Children living in underserved communities where hunger, unemployment and poverty are rife need to be empowered so that the communities are saved from the vicious cycle of poverty. This is an initiative by Food and Agriculture Organization and the Face Up Uganda Art Motive Innovation Hub.
We train children in the arts, link them to mentors, people that are establishing the network of the arts, and then also enable these children from underserved communities to use their art as a stepping stone to pursue their education. Most of them come from families that are struggling, and their education is important. For us as an organization, we train them, and from the sales of the artworks that they create, 70% supports their education. So we are supporting children to use their art to raise their school fees. At the moment, we have over 47 children from baby class who pay for their school fees from the proceeds of their artworks, able to highlight their potential. This exhibition you see here is a celebration of children all over the country. Like Mr. Antonio has mentioned, we engaged over 3,750 children from all over the country, including blind children, including deaf children, including physically handicapped children.
Held on the theme, better production, better nutrition, better environment and better life, the event featured an art of contest for children below the age of 15.
And here is also a token of the award that you have won. Congratulations. I'm so proud of you.
The young children to express ourselves and the message to all. My work here as me, I did better environment where this is there. And my fellow contestants, the winners, the two winners, also did their different artworks, and we thank you because you got us involved. Some of us with the Prime Minister and the community, thank you.
The children showcase their creative paintings as they portray a world with better food production, nutrition and environment.
To express one thing that we wanted to do as FAO, to see how we work with the children of Uganda to help them express their stories around how they see food production, how they see food consumption, but also how they see food as the environment. So every year we do celebrate the World Food Day. And this year, World Food Day was around leaving no one behind. Better nutrition, better production, better environment, and better life. So for us, we felt that it was an opportunity for us to start an art contest involving the kids of Uganda, for them to come and express themselves through art.
A report on the state of food security and nutrition in the world by Food and Agriculture Organization and its partners estimates that up to 828 million people had chronic undernourishment in 2021, 46 million more than in 2020 and 150 million more than in 2019 before COVID-19.
The Vice President Jessica Alupo has commended management of Frida Carr Hospital in Ngora district for their effort in saving lives. Now, she was officiating celebrations to mark 100 years of the hospital's existence, which took place at Kobuku village in Ngora district. NFCH is the second oldest hospital in the country, which was built in Teso region in 1922, and it's second to Mengo Missionary Hospital. Take a look.
During the celebrations marking 100 years of Ngora Frida Carr Hospital in Kobuku village, Ngora district, Vice President Major Retired Jessica Alupo unveiled a monument in honor of Frida to mark a memory of Healthcare Ministry of Glory, Gloom and Glow. Vice President Alupo thanked Ernest Carr, who hatched the vision of constructing Ngora Frida Carr Hospital in memory and honor of his beloved daughter Frida Carr, who died of malaria in Nairobi Hospital in Kenya after contracting the malaria in Ngora district. She handed over 20 million shillings to support the hospital in its development ventures. Alupo used the same occasion to rally people to embrace government programs like Paris Development Model, UPE and USE to ensure socio-economic transformation of their communities, but especially raise household incomes.
We should take advantage of government programs and other business activities without any fear. Continue planning for your programs at household level, at district sub-county level, so that we transform. I particularly would like to encourage the citrus fruit farmers like me to continue planting other young citrus, because the fruit factory in Soroti is going to be expanded. 42 billion has been spared to expand the factory so that it can consume all the fruits in the region. Recently, we were the ones complaining that the fruit factory is not taking all fruits, but very soon the fruit factory is the one which is going to complain.
The Bishop of Kumi Diocese, Right Reverend Michael Okwi Esakani, thanked the people who mooted the idea of marking 100 years of the hospital to signify the great service to the people. He, however, noted that when Ngora Frida Carr Hospital was blossoming, it had a number of consultants, surgeons, and a thriving nursing and midwifery training school, from which many people benefited immensely. Today, he said, the hospital is in a dire need of specialized medical personnel.
Today, we are in a dire need of at least 4 consultant surgeons, pediatricians, people who specialize in infectious diseases, general surgeon, gynecologist, and a specialist in adult medicare, a physician. The availability of the state consultants would attract interns and increase our areas of health care services delivery and bring success closer to our people.
Representing the Archbishop of the province of the Church of Uganda, the Most Reverend Dr. Stephen Kazimba, the Bishop of Mbale Diocese, Right Reverend John Wilson Nanda, congratulated the hospital for 100 years of uninterrupted existing and healthcare service. Bishop Nanda also used the celebrations to encourage the youth to embrace government development programs if they are to tap into the available financial resources. Constructed in 1922 after Mengo Hospital, Ngora Frida Carr Hospital is the second ever hospital built by the church missionaries in Uganda. Etole Ed Archangel, UBC News.
Now we'll take yet another short break, and when we return we'll be looking at what's happening in the latest in as far as business is concerned. Stay with us.
Did you know that a cashless, secure and convenient lifestyle is possible with Airtel Money Pay? Pay for your goods and services in the following simple steps. Dial *185 *9#. Enter the merchant ID. Enter the amount. Enter payment reference, for example, school items. Please enter PIN to confirm. You will receive a confirmation message for a successful transaction. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
It's true what people say, that when I wash and you wash your hands with soap, we'll have less infections as Ugandans. After all, it's hands that handle money. It's hands that feed us. Hands that prepare soil for farming. Hands that we use to learn. And hands that we use for fun.
When I wash and you wash, it means clean hands for all. So, wash your hands with soap and clean water regularly to keep away infections and disease-causing germs. This message is from the National Hand Washing Secretariat with support from UNICEF.
Welcome back from that break, and this is our second and final edition of News Tonight here on UBC TV. The Speaker of Parliament, Anita Mong, has called upon city dwellers and leadership in the new cities to develop their cities. This was contained in a message delivered to the people of Lira City by Dokolo Woman Member of Parliament, Cecilia Atimogwal, who said a city must impact people's lives. Take a watch.
I officially launched and commissioned the new city of Lira.
In 2020, the former Lira municipality got a city status. The declaration pleased the dwellers. Then the main street of Bote Avenue carried a city flyer as Lira had become a commercial and industrial city. Later, different structures began emerging to fit the current status. Many storied buildings are common on all streets in the city. As businessmen and government struggles to change the face of the city, churches have also joined in to erect structures. Lira Catholic Cathedral was facelifted and currently constructing a new bishop's house, while 5 other churches, including All Nations Church, Truth Fountain Church, PAG Worship Center, and All Saints Church Obampewany, is currently looking for resources to build modern churches. In a fundraising ceremony at All Saints Church Obampewany, the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Mong, urged the new cities to put efforts on infrastructures. The message was delivered by Dokolo Woman MP Cecilia Atimogwal.
The city has a different status from the town. So the modern building you are putting here is actually in conformity with the plan to build the city and make it better than the town that we used to know before.
The Speaker pledged 20 million shillings to support the church.
And we raised cash 92,111,500 Uganda shillings. And we have 21 million in pledges. And I want to say a big thank you to those who donated, and more especially the speaker. We want to say thank you to Mama Cecilia.
And the speaker says she will be willing to help you in any way that she can to make sure that Lira grows and makes an impact in your lives.
This call comes at a time when the cities are yearning for a legislation on resources sharing that has caused a standoff between most cities and their mother districts.
In the case of Lira, we've had a request coming from the Ministry of Internal Affairs. They want space for them to build a passport office. Where will we build it? To be on land. Now, if the land is not yet under our control, then they cannot do that.
UBC.
The police is saying they want to build a regional police headquarters. It's going.
A Minister for Local Government, Raphael Majezi, has assured the speakers of urban councils and urban town councils at lower local government that they will be included on the government payroll in next financial year 2022-2023. According to the minister, the issue of salary enhancement for all public servants has been a presidential directive.
The Minister for Local Government, Raphael Majezi, has confirmed that Speaker of the lower local government will be included in the government payroll next financial year.
His Excellency the President has stated, we are going to address this matter for the entire structure of local government, right from LOC1 to LOC2 to 3 to the councillors up to the city level.
The minister's statement comes after the chairman of Uganda Urban Council Speakers Association, Boni Tasoba, presented the demand for speakers for office space, transport, and salary enhancement.
We request the speakers of municipalities, the speakers of the division, my town councils, at least if we can open a vote, at least, and we had proposed some figures.
Isaac Ochan, Speaker Kitgum Town Council, urged government to include transport means to enable them to monitor government projects.
If we really want to implement government programs effectively, therefore there is need to make sure that we cater for the capacity building of the various speakers as stakeholders.
Meanwhile, the Deputy Speaker of Kalongo Town Council, Christina Monye, complained about the smallest paid that is not paid in time.
When we conduct our council, we are not being paid. Sometimes they give us half payment. They say there's no money.
Stephen Okello, reporting for UBC TV in Gulu City.
Yeah. Sending money the old way. Eh? Wrong number. Sending money with the My Airtel app. You have the power in your pocket. The power to access and confirm contact details in real time before you send money. Unlock that power with the My Airtel app. Visit the App Store or Google Play now.
We can't tolerate sexual harassment.
Sexual harassment is unacceptable in our school.
Because a good school equals a better life.
Raising voices.
Welcome back. Now let's have a look at what's happening in the world of sport. The 2022 Corporate League has climaxed with final day action at Makerere University Business School in Nakawa. The Corporate League Board Chairperson Dennis Mbide is impressed by what he has witnessed and also details plans for a grand finale at the awards gala next month.
First of all, I would like to thank all the sister companies that managed to participate with us this year. since February to November. Today was our last outing of the season. We break off for January and December. We are back in February, big time, with a marathon on the source of the Nile. And it's about CSR. We are contributing to a hospital, a health center too, in Ibanda. And the marathon will be collecting money to create a hospital with 70 beds, especially the maternity wing. That's a CSR we've been running over the years. We are making 20 years this year, and we have celebrated it by having an awards dinner on the 2nd of December, Friday, Hotel Africana, Nile Hall. We call upon all the CEOs and all the heads of department in the corporate league to turn up. The main thing there is, normally as we are sweating in the rainy area, in the dirty mud, we take off one day every year, where we just put on black ties, suits, and be real corporate in the 6-star hotel, 6-star events, where actually we will be, rewarding the winners, and that's where we know the winner of the season. We have done 2 or 3 things. We do sports to remain healthy. That's one thing, but also we give marks to the corporate values: integrity, smartness, accountability, timekeeping, organization. So 60% of the marks are in the sporting area, like we're seeing today, but the 40% of it comes from the values we espouse as corporates. Eventually, we have winners in basketball, football, athletics, swimming. Those are crowned and awarded. But we normally have an overall winner who combines, who espouses our values as corporates and keeping health as sports. So come 2nd December, Friday, Hotel Africana, Nile Hall.
And that sports story brings us to the end of the 2nd and final edition of News Tonight this day. Thank you so much for having kept us company. My name is Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma. See you tomorrow and have a blessed night.
Tales of Kasozi, brought to you by Uganda Communications Commission.
Hello? Hello? This is Kasozi. How can I help you?
Hey, Kasozi, my brother. Long.
UBC, inspiring Uganda. Sending money the old way. Wrong number. Sending money with the My Airtel app. You have the power in your pocket. The power to access and confirm contact details in real time before you send money. Unlock that power with the My Airtel app. Visit the App Store or Google Play now.
The biggest sporting event of the year is here! It is the FIFA World Cup 2022 and the first of its kind in the big Arab Manila.
World Cup is in Qatar 2022. Doha, Doha.
Wow! It's gonna be